All right, welcome to Moosejaw RC, and in today's episode we're going to look at a build that I did for 2022 Proline By The Fire medieval theme, and maybe give you some hints or tips or suggestions on maybe how to turn a RC car into a theme truck for Proline By The Fire. This year it's 2024 and the Wild West, and we are going to convert this build into a Wild West theme later. But right now we're just going to have fun looking at this medieval theme before we switch it over. And speaking of which, here it is. This is my Flinging Haggis Food Truck, medieval food truck that I built for 2022. I'm very proud of it. I liked how a lot of people were looking at it. You know, there was a lot of competition there that day, but here it is. What we're going to do, we're going to take the top off here, because it really is just the top, and we'll look at the chassis first. We have a lot of going on here. Let's try to explain this as much as possible. What we have here from RC four-wheel drive is the RC four-wheel drive SCX10 to leaf spring conversion kit. And what that came with was with rails and obviously the leaf springs. Didn't really come up with much else. We pieced it together with an axial skid plate there underneath. We attach here an SSD transmission with a forward mount motor. We have an RC four-wheel drive 45 turn can motor. I've had that thing since 2017 and keeps going. We got Hobby Wing 1080C ESC there, runs like butter. Just for build purposes, we just have Eco Power 120, I think it's 120. Yeah, 120T waterproof servo, and that serves the purposes just well. We have a Samix front servo mount for that. That's nice. Some spare parts, a HPI racing battery tray from the Venture, and I forget the axles. I forget there were some aftermarket axles, housings, nothing really spectacular. They're metal, but that's fine. We also have Proline carbon dually wheels all the way around. And why not? Why not do something really different on your builds? Fancy looking type vehicle anyway, so you have that. And then we just have like axial drive shafts. Nothing really spectacular. I believe the rear comes with this rear portion here, even though that feels like metal, so I don't know if that's from I can't remember if that's from RC four-wheel drive or not. And we have some beef patties there, just to give a little scale there, or maybe hide stuff. We did use, when you have plenty of Vanquish VXT tires, well, this is perfect for something like this. And then we just put some wood caps on there to make it look medieval and so forth. And yeah, that's about it. It runs really smooth for this kind of put together Frankenstein rig, but it works great. I do have a 3-cell LiPo battery going on there, but that 45T calms it down and makes sure I don't overrun it too much. And with that, it's a great chassis. I mean, old school, leaf springs, they're medieval, right? The VXT tires, they're medieval looking, and just add some wood and so forth, so you got a medieval looking chassis. The piece of resistance is this chassis that I built, or vessel, I guess you would say, I put together with wood. And it was simply building the lower frame, and I put in some body posts underneath to go right exactly where I want them, and I'll show you that in a moment. And I just started adding, got a bunch of different kind of wood at your hobby store, and just pieced it together. This is plastic here, but it is a Michelangelo catapult kit, and I just put it on there because you got to fling haggis somehow. We had an old t-shirt, painted a Scottish emblem on there. This is modeled after a Scottish medieval oven And we added some aquarium rock there, thanks to Riley with her scale logs. And we added a menu. There you go. Haggis, today's special haggis, dessert haggis. And that's the joke. And we even made a little logo for the Flinging Haggis. There's your refrigerator in case you need a goat. Some scale items that I found, even, I forget the gentleman who made those, but even scaled haggis. And just some things that you would think you would see in medieval times. We got some haggis in there, even though you would put them in a pot. You would boil them in a pot. So I might have to go back and get a scale pot and put them in there. I have a little lamp in there too. I have to light up as well. And like I said, I just made it look totally medieval. I went different with each quarter panel, I guess you would say. Kind of a vertical flat, but laying flat and gaps. Lattice style and then horizontal there. Even the walkway there looking a little different and so forth. And of course our driver from The Simpsons, Greenskeeper Willie. And again, you can just see the spikes and everything. How you drive it is by rope and everything. Chains, anything that I felt that would add to make it a scale. And that's the thing about Proline By The Fire. All you have to do is just simply have an imagination. Imagination. Get some good wood at the hobby store, not the base wood, not the balsa wood, and just shugu and imagination. There is some little nails tap in there to really give it, make it structurally sound and everything. But even doubled that up with some CA glue just to make sure nothing ever comes loose. And it was a lot of fun. And like I said, it actually rolls pretty good. We're going to roll it here in a rolling video soon. But what I suggest though is with your chassis, I try to just long ways, everything kind of in the middle. The key thing is just using good old rod ends and put them there and bolt them in place. Build a frame around it, right? And then just build up. And that's all I did. I just made sure I had this rectangular frame there. We put the body post in and got it going, so that it could at least mount. And that's it. And it's easy to come on and off. And everything's very compound, little double-sided tape, never hurt anybody. We're not going mad crazy rock racing with this. We are just simply making it have room and create depth with our build. So that's all you need to do, folks, with any chassis for Proline By The Fire or any theme that might have that kind of thing. Like I said, I'm looking forward to building the Wild West theme. I already have an idea. I'm going to go that way to Virginia City. There's something up there that, if I remember, still there that I'm going to be using as my inspiration, but we'll keep it as a secret. We will make a video on the Wild West theme build for Proline By The Fire, but I'm not going to let it go until the day of concourse. I don't want anybody to know that I built it and so forth, and make sure every judge can participate, get a judge fairly and objectively and with a variety of eyes instead of just one. So without further ado, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna do a running video of this beast. And where we're at, this is a location I was at before I did my Falcon Class 1 4.19 Vanquish tire review here. This is a mill, the Rock Point mill. They used to bring iron ore from the Comstock lode and dip it into cyanide. I think in that tower there you can kind of see, and process to separate the ore from the rock or earth or whatever, things like that nature, if I remember right. And we're just in good old Dayton, Nevada. This is right downtown. There's some casino right there and one of the 2 traffic lights. So I hope you enjoyed the idea of this. Hope to see your builds there at Proline By The Fire 2024, the Wild West. And if this video helps, you know, leave a comment for other people, maybe help them, give them ideas, or even ask a question or two and see if we can't get people in the comments to help each other out with this. Looking forward to the event, but right now, let's enjoy some rock and roll, flinging haggis, medieval running video. All right, folks, that's the Flinging Haggis. Did pretty good. I think a better tires would be nicer. The VXTs from Vanquish are a little too firm for some rocks, you know, things like that. Gosh, I wonder if I even vented the tires. I don't know. But, you know, that we're going to keep the Flinging Haggis vessel part of it. We're just going to take some stuff off, and we're going to start our Proline By The Fire build here, which is in late September, I think, early October, something like that. We got time, but I don't want to take too much time. I got inspiration. I live in the Wild West as it is, so there's plenty out here. Hope you enjoyed the scenery. Nice stormy day, which is always good, I think. A little windy and breezy. It was like spring 3 days ago. And it's May. It's getting, yeah, early May. So, but other than that, hit like, subscribe, leave some comments, some ideas for other people for Proline By The Fire, Wild West themes, what you're going to do, and or maybe some suggestions on using wood as a medium. I think wood works very easy, to tell you the truth. It's a lot easier than styrene. Plus, it's so scale. I mean, Wild West had wood. Other than that, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Cheeseburgers and fries. Hit like, subscribe, comment, notifications, all that. Stay tuned for more from Moosejaw RC Body Shop.
Imagination.